Hello and welcome to Let's Chat. Whoa, let's redo that. We're going to have to redo that. Hold on. I've got an echo in here. Sorry about that, stream. I had the Twitch channel up. So we're going to get this going again, okay? Hello and welcome to Let's Chat. Let's Chat is a live podcast where I talk with creators about live streaming and the ways that streamers and their communities shape culture. Yesterday, today, and in the future. So I'm Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, and I'm happy to speak today with KreekCraft. He has millions of followers. He's one of the most recognizable creators in the Roblox community and the ecosystem with high energy live streams, community-driven gameplay, and commentary on platform news and culture. Welcome. Let's see some of that energy, Kreek.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Kreek, and I think we'll have to have an energy off today. How about that? We'll see which one of us can bring more energy to the stream.
You know, as I've gotten older, it's actually gotten lower. I've had to start drinking coffee to keep that up. Yeah, I'm normally not a coffee drinker, but before a big stream, I might have a cup of coffee.
I myself am not a coffee drinker either, interestingly. Although I do drink caffeine and Coke, unfortunately. But that caffeine sometimes comes in. All right. Well, we're going to start pre-Roblox, Kreek. Okay.
Yeah.
So go back in time. And now I know you're getting a bit older. Okay. So it might be hard for you to remember way back when. But talk to me about when you started as a content creator.
Yeah. So I had just graduated high school and I was looking for like a job. And every place I applied to, they said I didn't have enough experience, which, like, how am I supposed to get experience without experience? Like, how does that even make sense?
The catch-22.
I know, exactly, right. So up until that point, I was just making Minecraft videos on YouTube. And I had a video kind of pop off. And someone at YouTube, I got like a partner manager, and they're like, you should try streaming. We just launched streaming. And I was like, okay. And at first, it was actually funny because I thought I was going to hate it. Because the idea of it being live and like, what if I mess up? You know, it's scary. And then I started streaming, loved it. People started loving it. Audience loved it. And it just kind of like immediately blew up. And then I got like the first paycheck And I was like, Mom, I got more than $5 this month. Like, I might be able to like do this. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there.
And so were your parents like did you think about college, or was college always something like, no, I don't want that?
So yeah, I was originally going to college for computer science. I actually went to an online high school before COVID, before it was cool to
Mhm.
do that. Just so that I could take programming classes that weren't available in my like local area. Um and I was whenever I started streaming, I think like 1 year away from getting not the bachelor's. What's the other one called? The first one you get?
Not the bachelor's.
It's the 2-year
Oh,
degree.
oh,
I
yeah,
forget
yeah,
what it's
yeah.
called.
An associate's degree.
Yeah, associate.
An
I
associate's
was
degree.
like, I was a few credits
I
away
heard
from that.
bachelor's and I was thinking of The Bachelor, then I was like,
Oh
what does that have
yeah,
to do with anything? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was kind of like, do I keep balancing both, or do I put all my energy into one and give it the best shot? And it was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I can always come back to this. I'm gonna take the opportunity and risk. And like family was pretty supportive. So
Oh, well, that's good.
it worked out. Yeah. It's interesting because like I come from like I guess like an older family. So like a lot of my family didn't really understand the concept of you can play video games and make money.
Yeah.
They're just like, he's just staying inside all day, wasting his time.
Right.
My mom got it though, because she was, she lived with me, so she kind of got it a little bit. Um, but yeah, once I got my first paycheck, that was when the rest of the family was like, "Oh, okay." It was cool then. It was cool.
Finally,
Yeah.
finally, we don't have to worry about him. He's
Yeah.
going to be able to do something with himself.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
now,
And
like, my cousins go to school. They're like, "Hey, KreekCraft, that's my cousin. It's my
yeah,
cousin." It's
they're,
like,
they're
I'm cool
bragging
now.
about
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
They're bragging about you. All right. So let's get to the persona. Okay. The
Yeah.
character. Okay. And before you talk to me about the character, I have a little surprise for you here. Okay. This is all that I had in my closet. Okay. But I felt like for the show, I should have a little something.
Amazing.
Okay. So I've decided I'm going to wear this for the podcast. It is some type of furry monster. But so tell me about the character, and when did the character
The
come out?
hat. Yeah. So I would wake up really early. So when I started streaming, it was December. I would wake up really early. It'd be really, really cold. And I would always take a shower in the morning just to kind of wake up. And so I would be freezing. And so I would just grab, it was a Dead Mouse hat, like the music artist Dead Mouse. It was a random hat my mom got me from like a Kohl's back in like 2013 or something. And she's like, "Oh, this looks cool. I bet he'll like it." So I had it in my closet. And so every morning when I started streaming, I just put it on to keep my head warm. And then I started noticing that people would draw me with the hat and also the red flannel, which I'm not wearing the red flannel right now. But um, my grandpa would always give me like his red flannel hand me downs. And so I'd
Yep.
always wear like red flannels, and people started drawing me with that. That was the fan art. And I was like, "Oh, okay. So this is my thing. This is
Yeah.
it." And then 10 years later, my Dead Mouse hat started ripping because wearing it every single day for 10 years is, that's a lot of work on a hat. And so
Yep.
I had to come up with my own thing. Number one, so Dead Mouse wouldn't hopefully not sue me. But then also number two, because he didn't sell those hats anymore. So I had
Well,
to make
and
up my
has
own.
your hair always been sticking out, or the long hair
I,
sticking out? Did that only come over time?
so I've always had longer hair. I've always liked having longer hair, mostly because like whenever I was a kid, um, a lot of the like growing up, a lot of the dudes had like the short hair with the bangs like sticking
Yep.
up, in school. And I always wanted to be like the outlaw, I guess. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have longer hair. And because like when the wind blows, it like flows, you feel cool, right? You feel like the Maybelline commercial or something. And so like I always had like longer hair, and it just kind of stuck. It's actually funny. I'll tell you a funny story. Um, I dyed my hair blue for a sub goal like a long time ago, and I actually got backlash. Like, "Don't you touch the hair? Leave the hair alone." Like
Oh,
the
I
hair
know.
is an iconic part. So I was like, I can't touch it now.
You have that great red color. So So you may not realize this from my hair now, but I'm a redhead or was a redhead.
Yeah.
And I always remember this story that once I told someone I was like 40 something. I said, "Oh, I'm a tall redhead." And they met me and they said, "You're not a redhead." And it's because by then all my hair had turned blonde and kind of faded out. So enjoy the redness, while you have it.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you know this, but this is actually a wig that's
Uh,
attached to the hat. Well, it's not attached to the hat. I just
I
put the
did
hat
not
over it.
know that.
The reason why I have brown hair, my hair's brown. It's underneath this. The reason
Oh.
why is I shaved my head bald for a sub goal. And what happened is the click through rate on my thumbnails went down because I guess kids don't like clicking on videos of bald people. So I'm like, I'm going to get a wig off of Amazon that's like $5 that just looks similar to my hair. And I did. And it became a running joke that Kreek wears a wig. So now I
But you
just keep
got
the
but
wig.
you got a wig that was red, not brown.
Yeah, it looks a little bit reddish on camera. It's
Oh,
it's
but is
it's a
it
little
really
bit blonde.
brown?
It's like blondish. I don't know. I like the blondish kind of orangey red look. It looks good on
Yeah.
camera, so I keep it.
It looks good. I
Yeah,
like it. I like it. All right. So let's get to Roblox then.
sure.
Okay. Talk to me about when Roblox clicked for you. And were you already
Yeah.
playing Roblox personally before you started streaming it?
No, so it was like 2016. I was doing like Minecraft PvP of Minecraft mods, and Minecraft kind of dipped a little bit, like in terms of
Yeah.
interest and viewer interest. It was before the Dream era and all that. And so I was kind of like, okay, well, what now? And Roblox was kind of on the rise, and my chat was always like, play Roblox. And I was with the stigma, and everyone had this back then. This is a dumb Minecraft rip-off kids game. I'm never gonna play this. And one day I decided to play it because someone said there's a game on there called Phantom Forces, which is similar to Call of Duty. And I'm like, I'll check it out. I played it. I was like, okay, this is actually kind of fun. And over time, it just kind of shifted completely into Roblox.
Wow.
But yeah, I started playing in 2016, so this will be 10 years.
And
Yeah.
have you ever thought about, because it's one of those things that, we make these decisions, we have no idea where they're going. Because suppose you didn't make that switch, and then what happened with Minecraft? Just like how different your world would be if you had never made that switch back then.
There was a part of me that was so, I guess, burnout of Roblox back when Fortnite came out that there was a part of me
Mhm.
that was like, you know what? I'm gonna become a Fortnite streamer. And like I never did. I almost did. I made the switch almost, but like I did it. And it's like, man, if I would have done that, my life would also be completely different. But yeah,
Yeah.
I stuck with Roblox.
It seems like the nice thing about Roblox, though, that I'm sure has kept you there is just it's not one game. And
Yeah,
so you have this endless supply of games that you can play.
exactly. So like there's always something new, something that's coming out that's interesting and exciting that kind of changes it up. It's not the same thing.
Well, so how much do you think of yourself now uh as a trend setter with Roblox or as a follower in terms of what game you decide to play?
Um, I think it's kind of a mix of both because, like, as streamers, I feel like we do have the ability to kind of set trends, but also at the end of the day, it's a matter of like, what does your audience want to watch? Because, like, if I could do anything I wanted, I'd be streaming like Halo and World of Warcraft all day. But like that, like most Roblox players, like, what is that? I've never even heard of that.
Yeah,
Um, but like obviously you can't do that because that's not where like the audience is these days. So you're kind of beholden to your audience a little bit, but it is a matter of you do get to pick and choose a little bit. Roblox does have a little bit of variety in terms of like what you can do.
right, right. And so what are you playing now?
Oh, we're not talking about that. Still a brain rot, stuff like that. It's not my proudest era, I guess, but it's what the kids enjoy these days, you
Well,
know?
we'll explain. Do this, because I think for some people watching this,
Yeah.
because part of the objective of this is to expose all that's going on to folks that may not live it. Um, Talk about Roblox some. Explain
Yeah.
Roblox to the person who hasn't played Roblox, and why is it so big?
So like you got to think of it like a platform. It's like Steam, except most of the games are made by like either kids or older teenagers or like really young adults. And it's got a very large like kid teenage audience. So and all the games are like free to play kind of. So you can kind of get the idea of like where that platform where it sits and stuff. And then over the years, the platform kind of moves along with the general trend. So like back when GTA 5 came out and the few years after, there were a bunch of like kind of like rip off GTA clones because like kids, they're not going to play GTA. So what are they going to do? They're going to play the best version they can on Roblox. It's free to play. And then like there was other trends that pet games were really big. And then like asymmetrical horror games were really big. And now the big thing right now is like Brain Rot and Tung 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 Her and all of those characters and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and so it seems like obviously what you're trying to do is figure out what your audience is going to enjoy. And
Yeah.
so as opposed to trying and you sort of respond to whatever is popular on Roblox now, as opposed to shaping it part of what you're doing, because you probably do you explore new games very often? How often are you just wandering around Roblox playing games that you haven't played or don't already know are pretty good?
Quite a bit. I like to think I have my finger on the pulse of like the Roblox community, like somebody breeds and I know about it kind of thing. So like part of like my job is also what comes next. And this
Mhm.
is this is probably true for any streamer no matter what game you play, but like if you're known for one game and then that game stops being popular or ends or whatever, then you kind of go down with that ship. And so you have to be able to pivot to new stuff. And so, like, part of Roblox is like, okay, well, what's going to be the next big game? What's the next big trend? Because, like, in 2020, I played this game called Piggy, and I made videos on it and streamed it every single day.
I know Piggy is wasn't that one of the moments that
Yeah,
you sort of broke out?
yeah, I got like I think it was like 5 million subs in like a few months from Piggy because the pandemic happened and Piggy happened, and it just lined up perfectly, stars aligned. And then like a year later, the game ended. It was like this is the last update, this is the last chapter, and I was like, oh crap, what do I do now? um, and yeah, I was able to pivot. So I was lucky with that, but that's something that's always in the back of your
Now,
mind.
now, one of the I know one thing that I've learned about Roblox for those who don't use it is part of it is just hanging out with your friends,
Yeah.
because a lot of people that are playing Roblox are playing Roblox with their friends.
Mhm.
So who do you mostly play Roblox with?
I um I have like a so it's interesting because there's so many different Roblox games, there's so many different demographics. So like
Yeah,
just because you're a Roblox streamer or creator doesn't necessarily mean that our audiences will mesh together.
yeah,
Like if you play Dress and Press, you probably have like a larger female audience. If you play Rivals, you probably have a male dominated audience. Um, so like right now, I kind of stick to like people that I know personally. Shout out State, Kalis, all those guys. Um, but I don't know.
you
I
sort
guess
of
it's
have a
like a
group of friends, and
yeah.
were any of those folks were you already friends with, or did like because many of the ones, let's take Steak as an example, many of the ones are also streamers. You met them all in your streaming life, as
Yeah.
opposed to them being real world friends that you
Yeah.
were playing
Yeah.
with.
I met them through streaming. It's actually one sad thing about being a streamer and content creator is like a lot of times you're up working really late. So like people with like normal jobs, I guess you would say.
All those normies, all those
Yeah, all the
normies.
all the normies. Like a lot of my friends pre-streaming, I don't get to talk to them as much because they're online at like, midnight after work, before work in the morning. And it's like, well, I'm up editing. So it's like, it's tough. That's one of the tough things about the job.
Yeah. Do you still stay in touch with like your because I don't know, is it public where you live or not?
It is, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I grew up
okay.
in Florida. by Jacksonville.
Right.
I didn't really have that many friends growing up. It was probably like
Right.
a little close-knit group of like 4 to 5, and like I try and stay in touch as much
But
as
most of your
possible.
friends now, most of your real world friends now come from your professional, which is the way most
Yeah,
people are. Most of your real
yeah,
world friends are all come from your professional life.
yeah. I would say so. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I know from Brandon, it seems like one of the things they're always trying to do is get you out of the house.
dude. Look, man, my goal, people always ask me, like, what's your goal from streaming? I want to make enough money to where I can retire and just play video games for the rest of my life. Like, get like some remote house somewhere. A lot of people are like, I want this super fancy car, a super fancy house. Like, I don't care about any of that. I just want to be able to like retire and just play video games. And I'm good.
But
Um,
then you don't need to retire if all you're doing is playing video games.
that's true. That's true.
Because you
I
don't want
guess
to
like,
actually talk about this. I always think one of the reasons that streaming, I think, took off is, of course, playing video games is social.
yeah.
Okay. Because you're playing with other people. And then it's like, oh, and someone's gonna watch me. So like it seems to me like if you're playing a video game, like why wouldn't you stream? How much do you play video games where you're not streaming?
Quite a bit. I actually, this is something I struggled with for a while. It's kind of like how much of my life is KreekCraft and how much of
Mhm.
my life is just the normal dude, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so like what I've done over the years is like I have like a set line. Like I don't play Roblox in my off time. That is a YouTube thing, that is a streaming thing. And when it comes like personal time, like that's me, that's lights out, big monitor, Red Dead Redemption 2, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate,
You're a
like those.
traditional gamer. In other
Oh
words,
yeah, 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 yeah.
basically,
100. Yeah, yeah. 100%. 100%. Name a
uh-huh.
game I've probably like I literally just play video games.
But
It's for my
but it
job and
doesn't
out of my job.
but it doesn't fit your online character, so you just do that on your own.
Yeah. I've thought about like having a more mature channel where I stream games like Red Dead Redemption or Elden Ring or whatever it may be. But like part of it's also like I don't want to constantly be in streamer mode.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to just like stare blankly at the screen and play video games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like when you're streaming, there's like this, there's some degree of commitment to your
Yeah.
community. And then when you talk about the feeling when you stop streaming,
It's
right? When you hit stop stream, is it like an exhale?
I think it was at first. It's become so like just muscle memory to me. Like you put a camera on me and I can just like switch into YouTube mode. I guess the thing to say too is like I wouldn't really say that KreekCraft is like a character. It's more just like an exaggerated version of
Right.
myself, I guess.
Right.
Um, so like it's not necessarily like it's not hard to get into that, or I'm not like, it's not stressful or anything like that. But there is an element, especially after a long stream, it's like, I can go and like
Right.
relax now. But the other thing about being a content creator is it's like, well, you're back live again tomorrow. You don't get days
Yeah.
off. So
Yeah.
start planning.
No, the way I decided it's almost like it's a caricature of yourself,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's who you are, but everything turned up a little bit,
Yeah.
And so, well, have you created a animated VTube version of yourself?
I have not. No, I've thought about it because it's like it's funny. It'd be funny if I was like a VTuber one day, but I think so much of how people like recognize me and I guess like my brand, if you'd say that, is me. And
Yeah.
so it's like if you take that away, you kind of lose that element, I guess.
Yeah. I will say one thing to think about is, well, actually, before I'll say this, I'll ask, because first of all, I guess it was recently your birthday.
Yeah.
And I guess we should have sent you a cane because you're 30 years old now. Do I have that right?
I'm 29, almost
Oh,
pushing
you're
30.
29. I thought you
Yeah.
just turned 30. Okay, you just
Yeah.
turned 29. You're not 30 yet. So next year we can send you a cane.
Yeah. This is the first year because like up until now, I've been like it. I don't feel any different. Like I could be like I feel the same as I did in high school.
When you were 19, right?
Yeah, sure. And then this year, it's like this is the first year where like someone will say something online and I'm like, what in the world does that mean? Let me look that up. And it's like, I feel old now.
Yeah.
People unironically say Skibbity Ohio Riz. And I'm like, you guys aren't joking when you say that. Like, you're dead serious. And they're serious. And it's like, okay, I feel old now. I'm getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and well, you still look very young. I think that
Thank you.
helps.
Yeah.
You know, you still look very young and have a very, um, uh, you know, a very, young energy to you. So, talk about what do you think is the most rewarding part of kind of building that brand and the live meetups, membership, communities, chat interaction. What does that kind of drive for you?
You know, it's weird because like growing up, I would always come home from school and like there would always be streamers or creators that I would look forward to watching at the end of the day. And that would be kind of like the reward for getting through the school day. And like now I'm that reward for other kids coming
Hmm.
home from school and doing stuff or coming home from work or whatever it may be. And so it does feel like um sort of like a responsibility to kind of like pay that forward or give that back, you know? It's a weird feeling, but like I think the most rewarding part of the job is knowing that like people have something to look forward to and enjoy watching.
All
Um,
right. So,
yeah.
a chat wants to know who were your influences? Who
Growing
kind of
up,
shaped you? Yeah.
my favorite YouTubers growing up was probably the Yogscast. They had a series on Minecraft called Shadow of Israfel, and they never finished that, and I'll never forgive them for that. But but I love the Yogscast. Uh, Markiplier, Seed Anners. That's probably an old one there.
Now, is
It's
Yogscast the one that does the Christmas special?
yeah. They do the
Yeah.
Christmas special. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on that one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched them growing up. It's interesting because like a lot of people are like, they assume I started YouTube because of one specific person. Like I started YouTube because I thought it looked good on a resume. I just kind of fell in love with the process, right? But like, in terms of like inspirations, like those were definitely like the ones that I kind of look to, and it's like I want to be like those guys, you know?
All right. Well, I heard one quote that from an interview you did that I thought was interesting. This idea that you wanted to be the moist critical of Roblox.
Yeah.
Where,
I
where
So after Piggy ended, there was an element of what do I do now? And something had happened on Roblox, and I was just randomly like, I gotta make a video talking about this. So I made a video talking about it, and it did really, really good. And it's like, oh crap, like people just sat there and watched me talk about something for 8 minutes. I'll do this again. And I did it again. And then over time, it just became like, here's an 8-minute video of me talking about something. And I forget who it was, but someone was like, dude, you're basically the moist critical of Roblox. Like you wear the white shirt every day. This is a pajama shirt because I just never change
although you
out
do
of
have
it.
some color and some jackets on there.
I
It's
do.
not, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't look at you and think moist critical. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't.
But I guess like the video format and stuff is very, very even the thumbnails, like Moist Critical, I'll do a thumbnail where it's just him staring at the camera and like those perform the best for me too. It's crazy. Like I've tried all kinds of different thumbnails. The ones that do the best are the ones where I'm just staring at the camera.
Well,
I don't know why.
I mean, do you try to vary your thumbnails, or you now realize it's just you staring at the camera and you
So
just stare slightly differently?
I have A/B tested drone thumbnails, thumbnail like
Everything
name a thumbnail,
imaginable.
everything imaginable. The ones that perform the best are me in front of the doing this. That's it. And every now and then I'll change my face a little bit, but I don't know why. Cause like everyone is like, that's not supposed like you can't do it like that. That's breaking the YouTube rules, but like it works. And so it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it then.
Now
Yeah.
you're a bit of a tech person, um, in terms of how you do things, right? I mean, you've done a
Yeah.
lot of sort of analysis of what it takes.
Yeah. I'm like a huge tech nerd. It's like I don't spend a lot of money on things unless it's video games or tech. Like that's my thing. Um, so like I like to think I know a little bit about like everything when it comes to technology, computers, streaming, that sort of thing.
But part of it too is my understanding that you also think a lot about like when you were first streaming, did you do a lot of testing on when you would your stream or who was
Oh,
streaming or
yeah. So like that's something you slowly learn over time is so like with Roblox, weekends you can really just stream whenever you want because everyone's home from school and work. But like when it comes to like weekdays, obviously Roblox has a younger audience. So like streaming in the middle of the day when most people are at school or something, probably not the best idea. You kind of have to get analytical with a lot of stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, it's funny because I hate looking at analytics. Like I'll upload a new video and I'll just be like, I don't want to see how good it's doing. Just like I just I'll look tomorrow. Um, but to a degree, you have to be because like I mean that's how you learn, right? It's like why did this stream not do as good as that one, or why did that video not do as good as that one? You have to like look at it.
Talk about why you think live, like when live, wow, live is for me. And I know I have various thoughts about why
Yeah.
live is really good for someone. So talk about, because you talked about, not wanting to just look at those numbers and talk about live and what that does for you.
The thing I like about live streaming is it feels very authentic and like real and just kind of like raw, I guess. Like there's a lot of people these days that have like very sophisticated live streaming setups, but like if you boil it down at the end of the day, it's just a live stream of someone talking or playing a game or doing whatever. And like it feels very real and authentic. And whenever you watch a video, no matter how good that video is, it's a production. It is edited and there's probably different takes of this and that, but like with live streaming, it just feels like you're watching something authentic. And I feel like in today's world, there's so many things that are just not authentic and that are just fake. And so like whenever you're watching a stream, it feels like you're actually watching another human being as opposed to like some character that someone's playing, I guess.
Yeah. So do you still do your own editing for your YouTube videos or does the team do that now?
So everything on my main channel, I do, minus a few things here and there. All the other channels, I have a team that handles everything. I just
Mhm.
record mainly because like something I've tried to get better at, especially like over the past year, is just having more free time, I guess. More time that like I'd love to start going to the gym and like eating better and stuff, but like I don't have time. Like I literally don't have time. And so like how I can relegate that and give me more free time is something I'm like playing
Well, when
around
do
with.
you do like because you stream and then you it sounds like you often do your editing after you stream at night.
Yeah, yeah. So once you stream, on YouTube at least, what a lot of people do is they'll cut down the stream to a
Yep.
video just using the like YouTube editor. So like that takes time. That takes a process. That's a process. Like
But
if
you
you stream,
usually do it as opposed to waiting till the next morning. Are
oh,
you
I do it
like, no, I
immediately.
got to get it done tonight. If I wait till
Yeah,
the
oh,
next
immediately.
morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
There's sometimes where it's like I'm just too tired. I'm going to sleep or something. But most of the time, like I don't like procrastinating on stuff. It's like if something needs to be done, like let's just do it, you know. And so like I uh I try to do it immediately.
So one of the things that from talking to lots of streamers, and I'm curious if you identify in this way at all, is I find a lot of streamers identify somewhere on the ADHD spectrum.
Yeah. It's funny. I didn't realize how much I probably lean into that until I like moved in with my fiance because she's like, you're a very sporadic person. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. Like, I'll wake up one morning and it's like, I had all these plans, but actually this one's better. So we're just going to do this instead, like right now. And that's just always been normal to me. But I feel like as a streamer, like a lot of streamers are like that because you like to a degree, you kind of have to be like that, I guess. Um, but yeah,
So
100%.
I
I've never
think
been
part of
tested.
it is like your brain, and it's a superpower when you're streaming. It gives you this superpower that your brain can be processing things. And so your brain's probably always moving. And like
Yeah.
you're talking, but like right now I'm talking, but I glance at chat. Right. And so I
Yep.
can be talking to you and still be glancing at chat and be like incorporating chat while I'm talking to you. And that's a
Processing what
super.
they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. This part is a curse. So like even when I'm not streaming, there's always that part in the back of my brain that's coming up with ideas or thinking about it. And so it's like you can never really turn that off.
Yes.
Um, it's just always on. But it is funny because like a lot of people I'll talk to, they'll like, how are you reading the chat and playing the game and looking at this at the same time? And it's like, I don't know. I just kind of do it, you know?
Right, right. And I think one reason that streaming works so well in that case is, and that's why you actually have to do your editing at night when you're done streaming, because if you put it off, it's another task you haven't gotten done that you have to like get to. And it's like there's now or there's like, you know, forever. And so if you don't
Yeah.
do it now, like waiting till the next morning, it's just much harder to get to.
Yeah, I'm something I'm really bad at is people will text me and I'll like read it while I'm streaming and I'm like, I'll respond later. I'm streaming right now, and I just never respond. And like that's the case with like a lot of things. Like if I'm gonna do something, I gotta do it immediately now. Otherwise, it's gonna go in that bin over there, and I'm probably gonna get distracted with a million other things.
All right. So think about what advice you'd give to young creators now in gaming.
The streaming world has changed so much. I This is a positive and a negative, I guess. I would say like if you're doing a stream, you can't just be a streamer these days. You have to be like a creator. And what I mean by that is like if you stream, take clips from that stream, upload those clips everywhere. Twitch, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Reels, everywhere. There's no reason not to. Like you're getting your name out there as much as you can. If you upload a video or like while you're streaming, record a video. Boom, there you go. YouTube channel. Now you got a video. Um, you have to think about it now as like a big picture. Whereas like 15 years ago, you really could just kind of go live and play games all day and that would kind of work. But like now you gotta be strategic.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's talk quickly. This is a Blocks Fest.
Mhm.
So what as opposed to me describing what Blocks Fest is, why don't you describe what Blocks Fest is?
It's basically like a celebration of like Roblox, I guess, and the Roblox community, a bunch of different Roblox games, all kind of culminating in this RB battles, Twitch crossover, like little Roblox tournament, which
So
I'm
you're a
very
captain
excited
in the
for.
grand finale,
Yeah.
right? Which is by the 26th and 27th.
Yep.
And you're drafting a team. Do you have
Mhm.
any concept of who's doing well now? Have you have any thoughts
Oh
of
yeah.
who?
I've been keeping track. So it's funny. There's a group of players that have always been very heavily involved in like the Roblox event scene. Like shout out Shay, for example. And so I know that, and I've talked to them. They're doing really good on this one, and it's like I want those guys on my team. Like I know these people. I know they do good. I know they're sweats. They're tryhards. Like they got to be on my team.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. So I'll jump to another topic because I know you've talked about it some. And I think it's good to talk about because I know it's something you're passionate about. You left the Roblox is not the partner program. It's the
Star program.
Star program.
Yeah.
And for various reasons. Why don't you talk about, your kind of your thoughts about the attention there that Roblox has had?
Yeah. I feel like Roblox as a company, and like before I say anything, I love everyone at Roblox. Like everyone I've met has been super nice to me. They're all great. I feel like Roblox as a company, as they've gotten bigger, have kind of become more out of touch, I guess, with like the community, you could say. And this happens to like a lot of gaming studios and companies. And it just kind of all culminated in a point. And it's like, look, I'm one of the biggest streamers. I'm one of the biggest creators. If I leave, maybe that'll make a statement to where they're like, wait a second, something's going on here. We need to kind of readjust or something. Did
Hmm.
it work like that? I don't know, but like it felt like the right thing to do, and so I did it. And yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think by the way, I do it's always a challenge as you get bigger. And as you said, like it's a company made up of a lot of people that are very passionate about what they've been doing. And it's sometimes it's hard to see how it can be used in ways that aren't intended. And then
yeah,
you have blind spots about what you need to do to address the issues.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's good. By the way, I think that's good the way you not just you did it, but then you speak about it because I do think that is important.
I, a lot of people get the idea. Oh my God, KreekCraft hates Roblox or something. It's like the reason why I criticize it so much is because I love it. Because like if Roblox does good, developers do good. If they do good, players do good. If they're doing good, then I'm doing good. And so it's like I grew up, I saw the Activision takeover of Blizzard. I know what happened with that. So it's like, I I seeing this is this generation's like version of that, I guess you could say. And so it's
I,
like I want to do what I can to keep things in the right direction.
I have vivid memories of my son's commentary on the Activision takeover of Blizzard,
Yeah.
from when he was younger, you know. So tell me this, how much do you have to deal with criticism yourself in terms of social media? You seem such a positive character that it's hard for me to imagine people attacking you, but knowing social media, it's hard for me to
Yeah.
imagine people not attacking you.
I don't really get that much. Hey, I'd say like the biggest thing, and every streamer can like validate this. What happens is like the older your career is and like the older you get fans from like different eras. So like if Tim the Tap Man, he used to play Overwatch. Now he doesn't. Well, those Overwatch fans are kind of mad that he doesn't play that anymore. And so like I have like groups of fans from each era that's like, man, why don't you play this other game anymore? Or I don't like the new game you play or something. And like it's I don't know if frustrating is the word, but like as a content creator, you have to keep moving forward. Otherwise, like you just kind of get left behind. And the downside to that is like not everyone moves with you. So like you do get those like pockets of fans that are like, this era was the best, or this era was the best, or that one. Um,
Yeah,
and like
and
how you deal with that, I don't know.
they have but one of the interesting twists when you're live streaming is the beauty of it is they feel connected to you
Yeah.
because you're so authentic with them. Of course, the challenge is they feel so connected with you. Um, uh,
Yeah.
you know,
A lot of people there is like the parasocial relationship kind of thing. And I try to make this clear in my streams. I say this time to time, because someone will donate and they'll be like, or actually better yet, I do Cameo, the app Cameo. And like I'll get a message every now and then that's like, can you help me choose what I do for college? And it's like, I can't. I don't know you. You don't really know me.
dude,
Like
I
I'm
didn't
just
go to college. Not
yeah,
sure why I'm the person that should be advising you on what to do for college.
yeah, yeah. It's like I'm just a dude who plays Roblox. Like there's probably better people to ask, to be honest.
Yeah.
So how you handle that is also one of the struggles of being a streamer.
All right, let's get a couple of the questions from chat. I know chat's had a lot there, and we try to weave some in at the end. So, how has your perspective on influencer culture changed as you became one of the biggest voices in your space?
I think there's a lot of it's actually funny. I think Ludwig kind of said it best. There's a lot of people that the day I quit streaming, there's some people that I would stay friends with, and there's a lot of people that I would not stay friends with. Um, there's a lot of people that are real and authentic, and there's also a lot of people as streaming has gotten so big that are clearly in it for like they want to make a lot of money or, et cetera, et cetera. And like, I don't really vibe with them or something. So like I would say my biggest realization is that as it's gotten bigger, my friend circle has gotten smaller.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Your acquaintances have gotten bigger
Yeah.
because you're so connected to so many people, but that friend circle you've needed to tighten.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Yeah, I know a
Hmm.
lot of people and maybe I'm friends with a lot of people, but like actually friends, like who would invite me to their birthday party? Probably like 4 or 5.
Right. Actually, a lot of
Yeah.
people might invite you to your birthday party, but who will you
Right.
invite to your birthday party? Right. It's like,
Exactly.
but that's one of the things about exposing yourself so much that then in your private time, it's like, look, I need to just be with those people that I feel most connected to.
Yeah.
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 All right. So we'll finish with one more that's a fun light one, which I guess is probably an easy one. Chat wants to know if Kreek plays Poppy Playtime.
I do. The new chapter comes out tomorrow. I'm actually very excited for it. Like legitimately, not just saying that because I'm a streamer. Like I'm actually very excited for the new chapter tomorrow.
All right. All right. So everyone, so first, thank you, KreekCraft, for taking time
Thank you.
to walk us through your journey, all that you're doing. And for everyone listening, thank you for tuning into the podcast. I hope you enjoyed the hats. We stream it on Twitch with a live audience. And so join us on twitch.tv/Twitch for the next show where you can participate in chat. Follow at Twitch on socials for announcements, timing, and guests for future shows. And don't forget to rate and review. And let's give it up in chat once again for Kreek for being here. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. It
With
was fun.
that, see you in chat. All right, for those on the stream now, now we're gonna wrap things up. That the podcast has ended, so now I'll go back to my hat. I don't know why. I was
Where'd you
feeling
get your
goofy.
hat?
By the way, it is funny because as you talk about that hat working, I'll tell you my story, which I didn't put on the podcast because the podcast doesn't need to hear my story. We need to hear your story. I wore a hat like this to TwitchCon 3 or 4 years ago. It was before I was CEO, right? And I'm not generally a hat person, right? But I
Yeah.
wore something like this, and everyone loved it. And so over time, it just became, a
The
little
thing.
bit of a character. I had a ratty old one, which I still have, but I got this in Australia. And when I travel around, I now get different hats. Although I still just wear a hat like this, but like whenever I go to a different country, if I'm in Brazil, I'll get a Brazilian hat. If I'm in Spain, but it is a little bit, of a character. A caricature is the best way,
Yeah.
right? But people love it, and so I enjoy it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Anything. So for everyone listening in, Kreek's got a stream coming up, but basically the way we do the podcast is we chat for a while, but then we have some time on the live stream. Anything we didn't talk about that you want to ask me about or press me on or chat about or anything, Kreek?
I something I've always like found really exciting about like you and Twitch is like you're the CEO of Twitch, but you're like in the weeds. Like you're a streamer. Like I met you at TwitchCon. You were walking around TwitchCon. Like there's not very many like CEOs that would do that. And like I feel like that's a really good thing because you kind of always know what's going on, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's something I think it's something I enjoy doing and something that's natural. It's funny. I wouldn't necessarily say to the next CEO of Twitch, "Oh, you should do this,"
Yeah.
right? Because it only works if it's natural. And I think the reason is because sort of at my base, I'm a creative. Yeah, I've often talked about the fact that I was a theater major in high school and college. I also was super good at math. And so I went up and I used that, right? I had a computer science degree and I was good at computer science. My brother actually runs a theater in New York. My other brother, interestingly, given is the CEO of the Fred Rogers Company.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah. He has a different last name than me, but so you wouldn't know it if you met him.
Yeah.
But there's really this, very creative side in who I am. And so it just sort of came naturally to engage with creatives. And
Yeah, it just kinda
so
happened.
and I think it's very helpful for me as CEO to talk with folks to have that relationship and understand what is happening, which is both the good and the bad, because by
Yeah.
doing it it also opens me up to be attacked.
Right, yeah, you're more of a public figure. You're a public figure at that point rather than just a CEO. Yeah.
Right, right. And then much like you said, for some people they'll be mad at things that that Twitch is doing, and sometimes for things that we should be doing better, sometimes for things that we didn't do something wrong, but they just want us to be someone else, which I fully appreciate and understand. And then I can become a target or are a focal point, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. So for those watching, I want to make sure in terms of Blocks Fest for anyone, in terms of the details. Again, the championship is 27th and 28th, or 26th and 27th. Let's see. Anyway,
I think it's 26th, 27th, I think.
26th, 27th. It's a site-wide competition with a $300,000 prize pool. There are rewards for streaming, even if you can't be part of it. So it's encouraging folks both to come on and watch and to participate. So I assume that's something that's so far been. Now, right now, you don't have any involvement, like you're streaming, but it's not
Yeah.
till the end that you start doing something with Blocks Fest, right?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on everything going on, so that way I know. But the actual like picking of the teams and like the actual, I guess, battle, I guess, is the end.
Yeah. So, and if you're watching, you get the Roblox cheer emote. So anyone that is interested in that. So another topic, and let's see, what time are you wanting to start your stream? Any particular time or?
It's I think it's scheduled for like it's about 12 minutes from now or so.
Okay. So we'll
Yeah.
talk for another like 5 minutes and then you'll switch
Sure.
over. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm always like 10 minutes late too, so it's not a big deal. Like
That's the ADHD. That's the
yeah,
ADHD. You're always
yeah.
10 minutes late.
I'll show up on time and still be late somehow. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, you're either late or you're early. You can't show up on time. So if you're
Yeah.
showing up on time, you're late.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
I never fully learned that either, all right, let's see. What else? Oh, I know what I was going to bring up. What have you started to? Oh no, I have a different topic. I know you've been thinking about IRL streaming and other things. So tell
Mhm.
me what you're thinking about besides sitting in your house and playing Roblox.
Something I think would be really cool is like doing IRL streams with like, the close friends and stuff. I guess the big thing is it's such a departure from what I already do that there is kind of that risk of like, is it worth putting all this time and effort and energy into something that might not do as well? But also a big struggle is like, since I stream every single day and cover all these games, it's like it's hard to get out of the house to do something exciting for an IRL stream. So it's kind of like that
So
back
here,
and forth.
by the way, here's my thought on that. Okay. And I think this is one of the challenges that a lot of streamers run into. And they talk about burnout,
Yeah.
right? And now you have this benefit that Roblox already has a lot of variety of games.
Mhm.
Okay. But a common problem in gaming is you keep playing this game. Everyone loves the fact that you play that game. And if you are going to play a different game, some of your community is going to leave
Yeah.
and your numbers are going to go down. So you don't do it. And every day that you don't do it makes it harder to do it because you're conditioning your audience by your total consistency. And if someone asks you the question of, okay, are you going to be streaming Roblox 20 years from now every day? Right. And if the
Yeah.
answer is that's hard for me to see, okay, then the answer is what day do you do something else? It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be right now, but if not now, when? And what
Yeah.
will change a year from now? What will change 2 years from now? What will change 3 years from now? And my general feeling is nothing will change, right? And that's where eventually you were your own, you built the box, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you get like this does really good. So you keep doing it and you keep doing it, you keep doing it, and then you're stuck in that box.
Yes. And
Yeah.
people think that everyone else built the box. No, you're sitting there hammering in nails every day, right? Making it a better and better box because you're a slave to whatever is like what they want right now. And so, like, my advice is it probably won't do better. You won't make more money by doing it.
Yeah, you have to bite the bullet and like this is actually something I've actually been doing on Roblox. So like back in 2020, I was all in on Piggy. Everything was Piggy. And then Piggy ended. I was like, oh crap, what now? And so like now I intentionally like I am not a single one game on
Right.
Roblox guy. And so you're right. What that's done is allowed me to do kind of whatever to a degree on Roblox. And so now it's just kind of taking that same thing and taking
Mhm.
it outside of Roblox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because in the end, what they're attracted to is you as a person,
Yeah.
right? And so then as soon as you start doing something, you start realizing, oh wow, there's all sorts of things I want to do with my life. And I can keep my streaming career while doing these other things that I've been thinking I'd like to do that I never get around to doing because I'm always in my room.
I think another, and I've gotten better at this, but I think another thing is like, as a streamer, and especially after years of doing this, there's that constant need. Like, you want to be at the top of the mountain. And like, for years, you crawl and scratch and stream for hours to get to the top of the mountain. And once you're there, it's like, I'm not leaving the mountain. I want to be on top of And so it's
Yep.
like, at some point, you've got to just be like, I don't need to be on top of the mountain 24/7. I can, like it's not healthy,
It's
I
it's
guess.
unhealthy to be caught
Yeah.
up with being at the top of the mountain when and by the way, I think it's human nature, but then it's also human nature to reflect and
Yeah.
say, no. I mean, I often think about the idea of you go back in time when we were, cavemen or whatever, how much did someone want to be at the top of the mountain as a berry picker? And always need to be at the top of the mountain as a berry picker. And men's are like, well, I kind of pretty good at picking berries. I don't know. Like, I'm really a good hunter. Like, most people get over the fact that, do I really need to be the best hunter? I get enough food for my family. Like,
Yeah. This is like something that I'm very glad I have my fiance for because like it's so easy to get lost in that mindset, and she like definitely helps keep me grounded. Um, because like so many streamers, they just get caught up in like I'm this super big, super famous celebrity, and it's like at the end of the day, I'm doing this because eventually I just want to play video games for the rest of my life, So
well,
it's
no, the
like,
interesting thing, by the way, I don't think you want to retire and just play video games. I don't buy that.
yeah, I
Like,
I do have I want to write a book. I would say at some point. I think that is another goal of mine. Like growing up, I was really into writing and reading, and so there is like an element of like I do want to try other stuff there.
mhm.
Like I definitely don't want to be a streamer forever. Um, but I guess the question is like, at what point does that transition happen? What does that look like? I don't know.
I
Um,
Here's the way I
yeah,
would think of it, as opposed to saying I don't want to be a streamer forever. Think I don't want to be a full-time streamer that defines everything of who I am forever. It doesn't mean
yeah,
you won't always be a streamer, right? Because you can stream 3 days a week. You can stream 1 day a week. Like my
right.
money says you will enjoy streaming, okay? You just don't want to be only a streamer forever.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it.
So then the
That's
question
definitely
is,
accurate.
when do you start not being only a streamer?
Yeah,
You
that's
are
a
a
good way
streamer.
of
You'll
looking at
always
it.
be a
Yeah.
streamer. When are you not only a streamer?
That's actually a really good way of looking at it because, like, part of like whenever I don't stream like, let's say tomorrow I don't stream or I don't make a video or something, it feels weird. It's like I didn't do my job for today. And like I know that's an unhealthy feeling because sometimes you just have to, you can't do it every day, every time. So part of it's also just kind of like getting past that hurdle, I think.
All right. You need to go for everyone on Kreek's channel. Um, I'm going to keep the stream going for about 2 or 3 minutes. Kreek's going to sign off because we were streaming from our. So his channel's going to go down. Okay. And then his channel's going to come back up. Okay. So just chill, hit refresh. His channel's going to come back up. He's got a stream going. If you're on Twitch, we're going to go ahead and raid Kreek. Kreek, thank you for being here. It's been
Thank
great.
you.
Looking forward to next time we get together again. Always enjoy it. And everyone else, I'll stay on for a couple, 3 minutes until Kreek is up live. And we'll raid him.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
All right. Thanks, Kreek. All right. So let's see a few things.